Good evening. Oh, I like that. Welcome to Soulful Sundown, where music resides at the heart of the religious experience. Some introductions. Excuse me. My name is David Carl Olson. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I serve this congregation as its associate minister for congregational life. I'm just 2 weeks into my assignment. I joined your ministerial team of lead minister Dr. Natalie Fenimore and developmental minister Reverend Jay Brooks and your student minister Errol de los Santos. Errol, by the way, will be our minister in residence, if you will, next month for Soulful Sundown. I have to say, it is a great joy for me to be here at Shelter Rock. Our band tonight, on keyboards, Ben Wish. There you go. Percussion, Chris Marshak. Vocals and acoustic guitar, Eugene Ruffalo. Vocals, and she will later be the host of the Coffee House, Erica Lee. Electric guitar, Mark Schulman. Vocals, guitar, cello, Jonathan Predis. And on the bass, Pat Falco. There we go. We're so excited that later tonight our Coffee House artist will be K.J. Denhert. Yes. We're looking forward to all of these artists sharing their impressive gifts. I often wonder about the purpose of a place like this, a place that carries a particular culture, a culture for a purpose, not a club, I think, not just a performance space, but a place where liberal religious values are made manifest in the ways that we are with one another. During the Second World War, our Unitarian Service Committee needed to be able to get humanitarian aid to refugees in Czechoslovakia and later in Portugal. They commissioned Hans Deutsch, an Austrian artist who had fled Nazism after he published cartoons that intentionally humiliated leaders of the Third Reich. This artist created for us a symbol for our work. The legitimate work of providing material aid, not unlike the work performed by the Red Cross and the Red Crescent, and then some shady, illegitimate work, creating false documents to allow children and intellectuals to escape Nazism. The symbol that Hans Deutsch created was a flaming chalice, and so we light a chalice at the start of sacred times together like this moment to remind us of our purposes, to remind us too of our courage. Unitarian Universalist minister Edward Harris shared thoughts this way: the congregation is not only a place of right convictions, a fortress of truth, a bastion of philosophy. This congregation is a community of those who have suffered loss, have lived through it, have learned true compassion. We have gained a sense of awe and mystery about this world and this enterprise of living. Our congregation is where we hear music and sing it ourselves, where we serve one another and the world, and where the strands of our beliefs, our lives, and our hopes are in a cable wound strong enough to bear us across all the valleys of pain, despair, grief, doubt, and disillusionment. Each of us has experienced these, or we will, but we learn from each. And for those reasons, we come to this special place, this special time, infusing it with hope. Cosmic Orchestra, you're up.
Muslim and Jew, we need people of all nations, all colors and all creeds, to put an end to war, to put an end to greed. Gonna take us all and make a change, take us all to win the peace. It's gonna take us all in the streets, gonna take us all. Gonna take us all. We need the immigrants and the unions, the greens and the gays, the hip-hoppers, the beboppers, and the women for equal pay. Farm workers out in the sun, homeless out in the rain, the seniors and the soccer moms, for a world that is humane. Gonna take us all and make a change, take us all to win the peace. Gonna take us all in the street, gonna take us all. Yeah, it's gonna take us all. Poets and the painters, the socialists and the anarchists, the pacifists and the humanists. Every culture and community takes black and white and brown. At times we don't see eye to eye, we stand on common ground. Gonna take us all, make a change, take us all to win the peace. Gonna take us all. Change. All in the peace, all in the streets, yeah, it's gonna take us all. It's gonna take us all. It's gonna take us all. You and me, you and me. You and me, you and me. Oh, you and me, you and me. It's gonna take us all.
Woo! Thank you. John Fromer was more than a friend. He was a comrade. John thought of himself as a cultural worker, often the way I describe myself. He was part of the movement among musical artists to use their artistry to promote a new way of being in this country. where those who do the work get recognized, appreciated, supported by a system that too often is tilted in favor of the rich and powerful. John was widely known and well. As a television producer, he worked at KRON, creating much-loved children's programming, including Gitbox Tickle, Just Kidding, and Home Turf. At KQED for a couple of decades, he won regional and national Emmys for his work on the science show Quest and comedian Will Durst's talk show, The Durst Amendment. He composed the theme song for the PBS series We Do the Work, a show about working-class America. John was an artist from his earliest days, singing in the San Francisco Boys Choir alongside great operatic and popular artists. As a youngster, he participated in the Selma to Montgomery March. This commitment to equity and justice led him to establish the Freedom Song Network. He could regularly be heard singing on picket lines, the freedom songs he had learned as a child, his own works, those of other songwriters. Most importantly, he wanted his songs to be on the lips of the people. Music is the lifeblood of the movement, he said. He saw it as his work to lift the spirits of people in their struggles. I miss John. He died of stomach cancer almost 10 years ago at the age of 66. His barrel-chested singing and song leading resides in a special place in my heart and among many musicians in the movement. Gonna take us all to make a change. Take us all to win the peace. Does that ring in your heart? I bet that's something that you could decide to join in on. And that's the point. Music to John was a way for all of us to connect with one another so that we might know each other, that we might know our joy, our pain, our struggle, and our victories, and could celebrate with one another. Gonna take us all in the streets. Gonna take us all. It was when coming home from a candlelight vigil, a demonstration against war and for peace, that Cindy Callett's kid asked Mom what it was all about. How can a bunch of kids and their moms standing on a town center, listening to a few speeches, singing a few songs, holding candles in the night, actually end war? Cindy got a chance to share that it may be that such symbolic acts are necessary, yes, to convince those in power to have a change of heart and mind, but maybe something else is going on too. Maybe the act of standing in vigil allows the participant to clarify for themselves their own thoughts about this world that we share, these lives that we share. Perhaps the symbolic act of lifting a candle, a kind of fire, can help clarify the call to others to lay down another kind of fire, the weapons of war. Will you lay down your fire as I lift mine? Will you not kill again? She writes of other symbolic actions. Will walking with a group of Tibetan monks from town to town, chanting a prayer, beating a drum, will that really bring about peace? Does it bring me into the present, the here and now, to challenge the direction of my life, the intention of my action, the expression of my deepest desires? And will I, by fasting, actually help people be fed? You have a chance tonight not only to ponder these questions, but to make a contribution to alleviate the suffering of people. Each month we make donations to organizations which help us live out our Unitarian Universalist principles in the world. This month we will make donations to 2 causes where there is immediate need. The Unitarian Universalist Association Disaster Relief Fund will support our UU congregations, their members, and their communities suffering in the wake of the natural disaster of Hurricane Ian. UUCSR has a close connection with our friends in Florida, and this collection will help their communities to recover. And to Make the Road New York, Make the Road is a UUCSR VEACH program grantee. They will use the funds to distribute prepaid phones, Metro cards, and financial assistance to asylum seekers sent to New York from Texas. Make the Road is committed to making sure that migrants receive a welcome in New York. Make contributions on our website or through PayPal or by text message. I think it's all there on the screen. If you're on site, we'll receive your donations at the door. Please give from your hearts as you can. And also please enjoy and be moved by Cindy Callett's song, Rain Night.
There's nothing ever to weary me, oh my darling one. If I stood out in the rain night, my only light a candle, a million miles away, would you lay down your fire as I raised mine? Would you not kill again? Oh, when you're near me, oh my love, oh my joy, there's nothing ever to weary me, oh my darling one. If I walked as one of many more, my only time, the present, now and here, would you undo those bombs, one for each step taken, and let the future draw near? Oh, when you're near me, oh my love, oh my joy, there's nothing ever to weary me, oh my darling one. If I took no food on this one day, my only life, this water, a life or more away, would one child more than live? No cries of hunger, no cries, would we not starve again? If I stood out in the rain night, my only light a candle, a million miles away, would you lay down your fire as I raise mine? would you not kill again? Oh, when you're near me, oh my love, oh my joy, there's nothing ever to weary me, oh my darling one, oh when you're near me, oh my love, oh my joy, there's nothing ever to weary me, oh my darling one.
So in case you had a question, your minister is a crybaby. Yeah, you can laugh at that. It's okay. I laugh at it. I get moved by things like this. I'm going to ask you to just take a moment. It makes terrible TV. I ask you to look around the table. And I want you to just look at the person that you're sitting with and just imagine, oh, when you're near me, oh, my darling, there's nothing ever to weary me. Oh, my darling one. Theologian Tandeyaka often argues that what reason took away from religion sometimes is the courage to feel, the courage for us to be in touch with our emotions and in touch with the results of some of our actions. Sometimes our reasonableness allows us to be actually kind of unkind to each other. But if instead every time we look into someone's eyes and we say, I recognize the inherent worth and dignity that is in you, I will be changed. I must be changed. The journey of social transformation, of finding common cause and repairing what is broken in our relationships, well, it's a long journey. Takes perspective that the walk any of us take, the ride that some of us will pursue, the hobbling that some of us might do, the dreams that we have for what we can accomplish, all of these, that journey we're on, we may not actually reach the destination in our own lifetimes. Still, we roll, we hobble, we walk, we move, and we make music, and we sing, and we dance. And we live lives that yearn for justice, for equity, and for compassion. Unitarian Universalist minister Victoria Safford marks many moments on a journey. This is what she says, and I wonder what of this rings true for you. Here it is, where I found my voice and chose to be brave. Here's a place where I forgave someone against my better judgment, and I survived that. And unexpectedly, amazingly, I became wiser. Here's where once I was forgiven and was ready for once in my life to receive forgiveness and be transformed. And I survived that too and lived to tell the tale. Oh dear, this is the place where I said no more loudly than I ever thought I could. And everybody stared, but I said no loudly anyway, because I knew it must be said. And those staring settled down into harmless, ineffective grumbling, and over me they had no power anymore. Here's a time And here's another. When I laid down my fear, walked right on into it, right up to my neck, into roiling water. And there's where cruelty taught me something. Here, I was first astonished by gratuitous compassion and knew it as for the miracle it was, the requirement that it is. It was a trembling time. And here, much later, is where I returned the blessing, clumsily. It wasn't hard, but I was unaccustomed. It cycled round, and as best I could, I sent it back on out past the gift along, this circular motion around and around. It has no apparent end, this compassion thing. Here's a place, a murky puddle, where I have stumbled more than once and fallen. I don't know yet what to learn there. And on this side I was outraged, and the rage sustains me still. It clarifies my seeing. And here's where something caught me. A warm breeze in winter, a bird song in late summer. Here's where I was told that something was wrong with my eyes, that I see the world strangely. And here's where I said, yes, I know, I walk in beauty. Here is where I began to look with my own eyes and listen with my own ears and sing my own song, shaky as it is. Here is where, if by surgeon's knife, my heart was opened up, and here, and here, and here, and here. These are the landmarks of my conversion. Thank you, Reverend Safford. Will you please join me in a moment of intimacy and ultimacy, a moment of meditation and even prayer? O love that holds and enfolds us, that opes our eyes and ears and hearts to the lives around us, and even to our very own life. Open us now to all the universes, to all the worlds, on all the levels of life, to the pasts we remember and the future we long for the gifts gathered along the way and the things that were set aside, lost sometimes, forgotten, for the tangibles and the intangibles, the directly perceived and that which is known only through intuition and imagination. Open us now to a universal love on many levels, in many places and many times. Open us now to the universe herself, and let us become with one another like a great cosmic orchestra, ever expanding, ever evolving, ever including all who will come. Amen. Human imagination has required that we answer that great question of why again and again. Most recently, our species, you and me, our species, hurled a telescope 1 million miles away to look as deeply as we can, for now, into the universe's past, and that's our own past too. The scientists at the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore include Unitarian Universalists and many musicians, absolutely, who look at their work with wonder and awe. We can wonder with them what is so far away. And we trust, I think, that what we learn will help us understand the universe and its story, and understand ourselves and our stories. As we learn these stories with courage, we may be about recasting the story of this little planet, that we all may be encouraged. Gonna take us all, we heard, when you're near me, there's nothing ever to weary me, oh my darling one. David Dodson asks us to imagine that there is a mystery to be revealed, and it includes friendships and love and voices lifted up in radiant song. Farthest Field.
There is a land high on a hill where I am going. There is a voice that calls to me. The air is sweet, the grass is waving, the wind is blowing up way up in the farthest hill. Oh, walk with me and we will see the mystery revealed. When one day we wend our way up to the farthest field, up to the farthest field. The sun will rise, the sun will set across the mountains, and we will live with beauty there. The fragrant flowers, the days and hours will not be counted, and peaceful songs will fill the air. Oh, walk with me and we will see the mystery revealed. When one day we wend our way up to the farthest field, oh, to the farthest field. But I know one day I'll leave my home here in the valley and climb up to that field so fair. And when I'm called, and counting it, that final tally, I know that I will see you there. Oh, walk with me and we will see the mystery revealed. When one day we wend our way up to the farthest field, oh, to the farthest field.
This is a chalice of courage, a chalice that will not be held back by evil forces, a chalice that will burn with hope, a chalice that we can pour into it all of ourselves, and it can hold it. Because this chalice is just a symbol for this chalice, that we are the chalice. We are the chalice. And while we extinguish this light, we do so boldly, knowing that the light still burns in each of us. And the light allows us to see the light in others. Go from this place commissioned by the light of this fire, by the light of this fire. Blessed be.
All right, everybody, in just a little bit, we're going to be reconvening here for our featured artist tonight. And so you guys can just relax. I hear there might be coffee and cookies, as per usual. I hope so. I mean, it's not the only reason why I come here, but anyway. So, yeah, relax, say hello to each other, take a few minutes, and we'll meet you back here in a bit. Thank you.